Thing is for sure, we are eternal.
What's up? Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be doing a sound demo review of the Voices of Passion by East West. This is the GUI interface. I am not going to touch it at all. We're going to go straight to the browser and just sort of play the sounds that are there. I will tell you, I like this library quite a bit. I think this is a great library. Interface, GUI interface, not super impressed by the options we have here. I like the reverb and the filter, and I mean these are important. Like if these weren't here, I would be sort of miffed. But I don't know, nothing that really stands out beyond like standard stuff. So that's that. Now in this one though, to switch, you got to click the browser button up there, and then they go back to the regular menus that are in the play. That's a little different for there. It threw me for a loop the first time I saw it. So they have all these different countries, and we're just gonna play through them, and they are really unique, each one of them, and I really dig it. As far as the vocal library goes, I must confess a shortcoming. I am not like a vocal library expert, though. I haven't messed with 100 choir libraries or anything like that. I've messed with a few of them, and I really like the way this one's set up. I like the way it works with the DAW. I just like it. So they don't have any. There is one vocal library that was a solo library called oh, I can't remember right now. But there's a vocal library that's got real legato. This does not have that, so that's sort of a bummer. But as far as the vocal library goes, I really dig it. So let's just play the sounds. Let's just see what they sound like right out of the box. Now most of these, the mod wheel is linked up to be like a low pass filter. It doesn't sound like it has too much resonance, but you can hear it, a little bit of it. And it's sort of, I don't know how I feel about the mod wheel, because when you bring it down, it opens up, but when it's in the middle, it sort of has the peak of the filter, and at the top, it opens back up again. So that's a little strange to me. And the pitch on all these patches isn't always linked up. So that's just something to know. It's pretty intuitive, though, on the patches it is hooked up with. It sort of makes sense that it's there. So let's just play some notes. Now, I forgot what patch I'm messing with. This is the elements. So usually for an elements patch, this is a little unusual. Usually elements are just a bunch of sort of random clips. I don't know what exactly qualifies as an element clip, but from what I understand from the ones that I've messed with, is they're usually snippets. These actually sound like a sample that's been mapped out. And usually the elements are intuitively mapped so that the note on the E is gonna work with like anything like an E major or E minor chord or something like that. So that's the elements. Here's the master clip as soon as it loads. So yeah, I could totally see using this in a number of genres. Now you'll notice we have a huge number of key switches, and this is really cool. I dig this. So let's just go ahead and play some. Let's hit a key switch, see what it sounds like after. Another key switch. Oh man, F sharp's got the vibrato. Good to know. So you see just, oh man, that's just so good. They've got intimate patches, they've got sort of big patches, they've got vibrato, and they're all key mapped out. I just dig it. I dig this. Yeah, I think it's great. Let's go on to the ooze and legato portamento. So these will have some sort of a glide, sort of to try and emulate. Trying to emulate that as if they sang it. Now, the playing I'm playing right now isn't exactly intuitive for the sound that it is. Let's see this one. We'll move on to the Bulgaria one. So you can definitely hear the portamento on this. Oh, it's interesting how they've set it up. So it doesn't necessarily, I guess they've set up some sort of parameters so that it's not as dramatic when you reach the upper ends, because it would be quite noticeable, I think, but closer together. So that's kind of interesting. The speed and the distance you play at will affect the portamento, because it would probably sound quite fake if they'd done it differently. So we moved on to Bulgaria, and here we have some breath. They have this breathe deeper, and this is really cool. There's just a bunch of breaths, and you could do some pretty cool things with these probably in a track. Now you might be saying, I could record breaths and do all that and all these things. Well, yeah, but these samples I feel like would be pretty hard to get without having some real quality mics, a nice room to record in. You need a room that's really got some soundproofing done. And these voices have been processed with, well, it's east-west, so they've been professionally processed in a professional facility. So I think that these breathing samples, they don't have any, like, all of a sudden you've got high harmonics you didn't know you were dealing with, or unusual low harmonics. They've all been taken care of. So that's kind of nice with these breaths. I really like them. They're really high quality in that regard. And so yeah, just cool. They have another breathing sample thing. This one's just called breath. I don't know. I feel like it's the same person that did all this breathing, but I don't know. If I could change something, because you see the black keys have them. These black keys are sort of yellowish. That's how you know there's nothing on them. But I would prefer if the black keys were a little more, popped a bit more on the GUI, so that I could definitely tell that, something is on those. So that's the breaths. Those are just something cool in the Bulgarian library. Just a unique patch. So these are the elements. So these are like phrases and words. These are really nice if you're looking to create some sort of a thing with a bunch of, well, I'll just play some notes. Like words. You want singing phrases. And the notes make sense with the phrases that they're singing. So that's pretty cool. Sounds pretty similar, some of these, which is kind of nice, so you can play multiple notes at the same time and not be overwhelmed. It'd be cool to have more words, more phrase type oriented stuff, but that's the mod wheel right there. So we see we got our wealth of key switches. So yeah, these just fun libraries. Now these ones are cool. So we have these India elements, which is similar to the thing what I said earlier about elements. So it's just a bunch of different sounds. So you see they do share. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not sure exactly how the mapping works. So this could immediately add like a ton to a track. Like this, these are cool sounds. Like I dig these. So yeah, it's really neat to have these different key switches. So that's India, way cool, and Syria has been set up the same way. So let's play some of these. This is like has Assassin's Creed written all over it. The video games, a lot of video games I feel like probably have used these libraries. So yeah, those are really interesting. Hitting multiple at the same time isn't necessarily the wisest. And then the last thing we have here is Wales. So let's check out some Wales. And we haven't done any post-processing. We haven't really messed with anything really except just playing the sounds. I could see a ton of potential here for just additional weird stuff that we could do. Let's go to some legato patches. Those are so nice. That's the ah. They have an O, another ah, O. These are portamentos. These ones are just straight legato. Let's do O legato. As soon as it loads. Here's, oh, it froze on me. And we're back. We're almost at the end. So let's do the master patch. For Wales. This is the vowels master, so these are all different vowels. So it'd be, if I had, oh, my low octave does support, oh, just that note though. So if you were to combine these with key switch movements and your filter movements, it would sound, you could really sell this. It could morph and sound much more real. Let's try the words, Wales words. Now this one has a ton of switches. This one will require experimentation to really get a nice flowing vocal, but it's got the potential there. These sound more like, I don't know what language this is. But I do not hear words, I hear more phrases, but that's not. I guess that, okay, those sound like words. That sounds like a phrase. So like, yeah, I'm not sure the nuances of it. But yeah, so as you can see, each one has its strengths. Very, like India and Syria are done wonderfully. Bulgaria is really cool. I think they're all great. I think they all have their own style. I really like this library. I think it's a really great one. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If there's anything you wish you could have seen, drop that in the comments. Subscribe and have a blessed day.
Opposing gloves. Reversing.